A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about Mars in the 8th house and what it brings for us. But before we start, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do, and do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. Now, Mars in 8th house, a very strong combination indeed, because in the natural zodiac, Mars is the ruler of the 8th house. The 8th house, what does it give us? It is said to be the Mangalya Sthan or the longevity of the marriage. It is also said to be a house which brings in suddenness, and it is also said to be the house that has the capacity to elongate any disease, any problem that comes in its way. Mars is said to be the Mangalya Karak also. It represents the spouse for the ladies. So such a Mars can bring in a lot of hurt because it's Mars which denotes cuts. It's the warrior. It's the one that can cause a lot of fights for us, and it can give diseases. So what happens when this Mars is placed in the 8th house? Again, the 8th house talks about the Mangalya. So, and Mars causes discord. I have done a full-length video on when planets are placed in different houses, the malefics or the cruel grahas, then what can they bring in our life? What kind of separation? So there can be problems in marriage because of in-laws, there can be problems in marriage, there can be Mangal dosh, and the 8th house Mars can cause discord, fights in marriage, creating a kind of a breakaway from marriage. As per the Shastras, Brihad Parasar, as well as Varamira, they have all said very clearly that 8th house Mars does not bring in a lot of luck in terms of marriage. Now, it can bring, what kind of diseases can a person have? It is said that the person can have a lot of cuts in their body, and because Mars represents the warrior class who's so much into fighting, cutting and all those things, so there's a lot of problems in the body. In the 8th house, it represents urinary tract disorders, especially for women, and can show the prostate problem for men. It can also give disorders of the blood which can be long drawn. So people who have problems, especially if there's a Rahu involved with the 8th house, somewhere by aspect and or by conjunction with Mars, then there can be issues with your blood cancer also. Longevity can be thoroughly compromised because Mars, when placed in the 8th house, does not give a long life to people. When Mars is placed in the 8th house, one can also have diseases of the eyes. Now the question could be why? Because Mars has a direct aspect on the 2nd house, and it can also compromise on your vision. Mars, when placed in the 8th house, can also give a person a rough language. Such a person can use abuses in his day-to-day language, which can, again, as I repeat, would be detrimental to the person itself. Mars, we have in the 8th house, Mars in the 5th house, Mars in the 2nd house brings people a lot of riches. That's stated. Even in the 4th house, Mars can bring in a lot of riches. It's stated in the Shastras. And the 8th house, though it's the house of inheritance for you, but when Mars is present in the 8th house, it has been very clearly stated that it can take away your wealth. One of the greatest examples that I can give you here is that of Rajneesh Osho. In Rajneesh Osho's chart, we have Mars sitting in the 8th house in Sagittarius sign with many other planets. He rose to stellar heights, but all his name, all his fame and all his money was lost in one way or the other. See, Mars is sitting in the 8th house. The 9th house is said to be the house of the guru. It's supposed to bring in a lot of name, credit to you. And Mars is sitting in the 8th house. There, by negating that credit, negating that name and fame, and also taking away your wealth. So the Shastras have very aptly mentioned that even if there is a placement of Venus or Jupiter in the 9th house for a person, which is said to be one of the undefeatable combinations, because they bring in not just money, they bring in a lot of name, fame, lot of prestige to a person. That can be annihilated, or that can be superseded. Mars can win over that good quality of the 9th placed Jupiter or Venus and can expand its bad qualities of the 8th house, superseding it, and the person can get into trouble. That is what has been mentioned. That 8th house Mars is supposed to be that strong in the chart. The fact that Mars does not give in good marital relationships can be seen. I've seen it in many charts. Malika Arora's chart also. I've seen many charts where 8th house Mars is definitely not bringing in much happiness of marriage to the person. You can also check it in many charts in your that you know of. So here we will recap again and see that this Mars is supposed to be very strong. It's supposed to bring in, to even supersede the luck that the 9th place Jupiter in the same chart or the Venus can bring. So it's a very strong yoga that one has. And the Mangalik dosha is definitely present because it does not bring in happiness from marriage. On the contrary, can bring in a lot of diseases and health issues for a person. So when you're matching charts, the Mars will again be of a lot of importance for all of us. So till we meet with you again, stay safe. Thank you.
बेल आइकन को दबाएं ताकि आपको वीडियोस की अपडेट मिलती रहे। हमारे वीडियोस को लाइक करें, शेयर करें, उन पर कमेंट करें और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना न भूलें।